Hey everyone, so today we are talking about Israel's obstruction of aid, the massive shortages it created across Gaza, and some fresh data that exposes the full scale of the disaster. From Reuters on November 11th, UNICEF says Israel blocking 1 million syringes needed to vaccinate Gaza children. UNICEF said that items including syringes to vaccinate children and bottles for baby formula were being denied entry into Gaza by Israel. So, a theme for Israel to block aid, they routinely did this, and there were Israeli citizens that blocked aid. They felt compelled to show up and block aid, I suppose. Here's a story from Reuters from May 2024. Israeli protesters block aid convoy headed to Gaza. Anyway, back to the original story. Key things here is Israel is calling things like syringes dual use. Dual use meaning they have possible military as well as civilian applications. Again, patterns, themes. Israel routinely did this, so here's one example from May 2025 from PBS. UN official calls Israel's Gaza aid blockade cruel collective punishment. The UN reported thousands of Palestinians storming an aid office for supplies with no staff injured. Israel had blocked all aid since the March ceasefire, so March 2025 ceasefire had ended, creating a severe humanitarian crisis, saying the pressure was meant to force Hamas to release hostages and disarm. Here's a press release from Norwegian Refugee Council, September 2024. Data had shown that Israeli obstruction of aid created a major humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Most of the population faced hunger and disease, with nearly 500,000 at risk of starvation. For almost a year, food, medicine, fuel, shelter supplies had all been blocked. About 83% of needed food aid never entered, leaving people with one meal every other day and tens of thousands of kids at risk of malnutrition. Medical supplies were severely depleted, hospital capacity had dropped to about 1,500 beds, and nearly 2 million people needed shelter while only a small number of tents had been allowed in. So again, nothing new for Israel, blocking syringes for vaccines. They've been denied almost 1 million bottles of ready-to-use infant formula. Some of these kids have been severely malnourished now for a long time. I think they will likely keep doing this thing where they block aid, then let it in, then they block it again. They can always fall back on some sort of bureaucratic bullshit every single time. But yeah, that's all for this one.